Hey there, it's Raven Scry. Today I'm going to connect up to Spirit and ask them of any significant events that are coming soon that they can share or show for the community. So I'm not really going to speak much to it other than just leaving it open to anywhere in the world, something taking place that can affect many, many people. So I'm just leaving it with that intention. So as I open now, inviting Spirit close to guide the session today. Okay, so the first thing that's coming in is China. I'm hearing China, and I'm seeing the Chinese flag being made aware of its colouring and just connecting in with the flag. Okay, so as I allow this scene, as I surrender more into expanding further into this scene to understand what's being shown, I'm seeing a lot of, it looks to be children, and in the way that I'm seeing it, I'm seeing small boys' heads, it's like I'm seeing them from above. And they're all dressed in the same clothing, or some sort of uniform, very, very similarly dressed in the way that they're shown here. Now I want to say it's as if they're sitting in some sort of a boat all together, these boys. And it's just they show me this scene of this boat with all of these young boys in it. And I ask, well, help me to understand this scene a little bit more, Spirit. I feel as though this boat is a small boat and they're pushing it out over the seas, and it's like it's meeting a larger boat of some description. I want to say, as I connect more to these boys, it's like they're somehow, I don't know, like restricted. And it feels as though there's almost, their hands are tied up. There's some sort of restriction here as they're moving out on this smaller boat to this large boat. It's like they're being sent out across the water to this larger vessel, is how it's being shown. Now I feel as though there's reference to some sort of military or government here. I'm seeing very uniformed men and references to firearms that are within their role. You could say it's like as this scene is going on with these boys being transported, there's these men with guns that are observing this is going ahead properly to plan, or they're observing this, so it feels like they're uniformed and they're watching very closely what's going on here. Okay, now Spirit, help me to understand this scene a bit more. Can you bring a little bit more context into what's being shown here, please? It feels somewhat complex in the way that they share this. It's like there's many things. It's like I get this sense of many layers to what's taking place here. When I ask Spirit, it's like they're kind of almost shuffling scenes for me, but it feels complicated. And I ask, okay, well, please bring the most important scene forward, or information forward in regards to bringing light to what's taking place here. Now they're bringing connection in somehow to Trump government here as well. It's like there's some connection here with the Trump government. Now, I want to say I'm not a political person. I really don't know much about that world at all. So I just give it as the things come through. So really, I don't understand what's being shown here, but I just know that there is this scene with these young boys and some sort of, is it military Chinese men with guns, and a reference to under the Trump government, or something of that nature. And I also feel as though there's these larger references to the USSR, but the USSR war is what I'm hearing. So I don't know whether that's now or whether they're referencing something from the past. So is there anything else within this scene that can be shown here, Spirit? Talking about Egypt now and a fall of Egypt. Now, it does feel as though there is parts being played here, like there's connection to USSR, now Egypt, now China, is these greater situations that are unfolding. It just feels like a struggle, like there's all these elements struggling to stay in control on some level. And so they just bring me back to this scene of these boys on this boat. And I just ask, okay, can you share a little bit more of what's taking place? They're going over to this other larger boat. What's taking place here? It's like there's a sense of leaving something behind. Now, I feel as though this is connected into the system in some way, and is relevant to a reference of China leaving something behind. Because it's like I look back and it's almost like there is this sense of like somewhere that's been left, somewhere that's been abandoned, somewhere in the past. It's like I look back to this scene and they've left it and sailed out further onto the water to this ship. So there feels like there's some sort of moving across the water, but some larger political thing taking place, or some larger war, something going on here between many countries. Now I just ask Spirit, because in this moment, my mind, my logic is wanting to step in and be like, come on, give me something more. Like I'm finding it a struggle to surrender to the information. So really I'm just going to open it up now to Spirit and just say, is there anything more that needs to be shown here for the purpose of today's sharing, to bring clarity to the people listening? They're talking about fighting, and it feels like warlike fighting. And these boys feel like they're somehow being held hostage. It's just this scene they keep showing of all these boys being pushed out onto the ocean. And it's like they're wearing these it's like these uniforms, these grey uniforms. What can be shown and shared to bring clarity to this scene, Spirit? It's like there's a collapse. I hear reference to madness. It's like they're trying to stay in control, but it's, there is this collapse taking place on some level. They're talking about the degree of the collapse we don't know yet, but they're talking about ships sailing, and there's reference to Beijing here as well. They show me this eruption. It's like there's an eruption taking place, and I'm seeing all of these presidents around this eruption. It's like this big eruption taking place in the middle of all of these presidential type men that I'm seeing. They're talking about a collapse. It's as if the energy is pulling everything down, pulling everything under, and they're trying to go the opposite way, trying to fight against this pull that's really coming down, and this sense of falling that I'm getting here. And it feels as though, it's almost earth changes. This falling is so heavy. It's like there's a lot of velocity with it as it sinks down deeper and deeper. But it's like little people trying to fight against what is so large and has so much energy with it. Now, I don't know if this is an actual event or they're just speaking about the energy of the situation, but you wouldn't want to be going the opposite way, It's a very strong pull here. Okay, I'm just going to ask for anything more in regards to this scene. So they're talking about someone can't speak about this. It's like somebody has something across their mouth. Someone's not able to communicate here about this situation and what's taking place. But I do again see Trump there with this scene. And, it's very connected here with China, and something's going on here. And there's a lot of energy around this. And they show me fighting and military presence is where they leave this. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to thank Spirit and just leave this this session for today. It was an interesting one to navigate. It's almost like it wasn't really giving me clarity. The nature of the energy is very muddied up, and there's a lot of chaotic inflow into the scene in many ways. It's like, as I've spoken in the past, how scenes overlap for me, but various things, a scene of a time, various different things going on within that scene they're all overlapping at that same time. So it feels very chaotic and very muddied up, the water. It's difficult to separate or pull apart these particular scenes. But the nature is, very, very, very warlike, fighting, escape, going against. It's got a lot of dissonance within what's being shown and shared here. Now, I just want to ask Spirit, is there anything, I know I've finished, but I'm feeling is there any last things to be shared around this scene before I close? They're talking about it being connected to everything. What's taking place here, it's being connected out into everything across the globe. What's taking place, yeah. So they show me these scenes, and then they show it spreading out, and then back to this scene, or these scenes. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. And I'm feeling that I'm going to go over to Patreon and delve a little bit deeper, travel a little bit deeper with this. So if you'd like to join me, please do. Otherwise, I will see you guys again soon with the next video. Raven Scry signing off.